Hi everybody, Mark Rogerson here. Today I'm joined by Brett Kenny, founding partner of Rogerson Kenny. We're coming to you our second firm-wide video after the coronavirus, or with the coronavirus crisis, and discussing with clients how they can manage this with their business. The first video we sent around was on the government stimulus package. We're happy to send that to you again, or you can indeed download the information on the stimulus package the government's providing. But what's becoming really apparent to us very quickly is the economic impact of coronavirus. We're having quite a number of clients contact us in a lot of queries. There's some uncertainty, a lot of uncertainty, and I guess the point of this video with Brett is to just go through some points that you can enact right now for your business. Probably a couple of the main points that Brett and I wanted to make was with is around your bank, how you can deal with your bank and the ATO, and some other sort of practical considerations that we can go through, Brett. So the first one are the banks, Brett. We had Westpac yesterday sending correspondence to our clients saying they're enabling a 3-month deferral or 3-month holiday effectively on principal and not interest. I heard the ANZ CEO on radio last night saying that they were doing interest and principal and indefinitely, or sort of, for 3, 6, 7 months, however long the virus was going around for.
Yeah, that's right. I think they're at a position now they realise the severity of this virus, and their business impact is so severe that they would rather cut some slack and provide some well-organised and controlled holidays than just see business collapse completely.
So we think the time's now to be contacting your bank. Contact your bank manager, have the conversation about if a loan holiday is an offer, either principal or interest, preferably both, and go from there. If we can help on that, please contact us. The second thing to do, we think, is to look at your tax obligations. Often after paying rents, loans, wages, tax office obligations are a business's biggest cash expense, if you like, or cash outflow. The ATO have set up a dedicated hotline, the number 1-800-806-218. If you have a look in the supporting notes to this video, we have a link to the ATO website for what they're offering. But Brett and I are going to talk about that a bit now. So they acknowledge the coronavirus economic impact. They've started they'll work with you to defer or vary instalments and payments, such as income tax, activity statements, including pay-as-you-go instalments, FBT and excise payments for up to 4 months. I'd suggest that 4 month will be a moving target and likely to be expanded further, but we'll see how that goes. Do you have any comments on that, Brett?
No, but it'll be interesting to see their reaction. Fringe benefits tax returns are due basically within the next 14 days. Fringe benefits tax returns to be accompanied with a payment generally. There's no assessment issued, so it'll be interesting to see their approach on those. Also, the instalment system is designed to be a PAYG or pay-as-you-go for businesses, and we're just watching to see what sort of concessions are being made available to business to say, okay, well, you may well have had a good month in January, but the rest are going to be reasonably hard.
If you have a look at the link that will be in the document accompanying this video to the ATO's coronavirus economic impact, they talk about pay-as-you-go instalments, and saying you can go back and vary your September and December quarter activity statements to have those instalments refunded, which is probably an unprecedented move. So have a look into that. The GST, they're allowing, if you're a monthly GST lodger, quarterly GST lodger, they're allowing for that to change. You can elect to change that to a monthly lodger if you think you're going to be in a position to be receiving GST credits or refunds. Just a few points on this though. If you do change that to monthly, that will be a 12-month locked-in period to lodge monthly returns. And if you did it now, it'd start from 1 April 2020.
And of course, if you are payable, then you'll be paying monthly rather
That's
than
right,
quarterly.
that's right.
So you need to be a little bit careful rushing on, but it's a good offer because there will be a lot of businesses now will be in a refund position on the GST.
In the government stimulus package, which I spoke about at the start of this video, the government stimulus package had a pay-as-you-go withholding refund or credit up to $25,000. We're not sure if that's included in this GST amending. So if you go from, amendment. So if you go from quarterly to monthly, so we'd have to watch and see on that.
Yeah, I suspect it won't be because most small businesses are still in the quarterly PAYG withholding. For those that are getting lost in the acronyms, PAYG is just amounts withheld from your staff and sent to the tax office. 50% of that will be refunded up to $25,000, but we suspect the first one that'll occur for is the the March quarter lodged in April or May.
Okay, so that's the banks and tax office. Anything else on the tax office, Brett?
No, they've been remarkably accommodating. We've had some clients already ring them and have repayment plans that I haven't heard before. They've been very generous. Clearly there's been some pressure from the top to try and accommodate businesses in these extremely difficult times.
Yeah. So ATO, we should be speaking ATO about repayment plans, deferring payments, taking back your instalments that you've already paid for the September-December quarter, varying instalments for the March quarter and the June quarter, and potentially quarters going forward, and deferral on or changing your GST obligations from quarterly to monthly if you think that's going to suit.
And get the March BAS in reasonably quickly if you do fill their 50% rebate, because it'll be a cash transaction paid within 14 days of lodgement.
If it's in credit.
Yep.
Okay, great. Just moving on to some other points. So the idea of this video is just some ideas that we think that you should enact in your business right now. Check your business insurance. If there's some sort of interruption or like event insurance. I had a client check their insurance policy just recently and excluded was infectious diseases. So that might be a common theme, but definitely check it.
Mm-hmm.
Understand your obligations for employees. So depending on how difficult your trading conditions are becoming and whether or not the government puts the country or parts of the country into lockdown, or indeed your industry into lockdown, you need to understand the ability or your rights with standing down employees. Clearly this is not nice, nobody wants to go down this track, but my suggestion is you really need to understand your obligations and plan for this right now, because it could be something that comes and bites really quickly.
Exactly.
A few other points, and probably these are fairly obvious, but extend your payables where possible. Obviously we've spoken about the ATO and the bank, but if there's any way you can extend other payables, be in contact with your suppliers if possible, push it out. And likewise for your accounts receivable, I think it's got to be tight for everyone at the moment, but if you can bring some of those accounts receivable in, or perhaps you supply to bigger customers that have the other cash flow, the ability to pay you a bit quicker, see if that can happen. I think communication is really important there. Be careful who you supply your goods and services to. We're clearly not saying stop doing this, but perhaps make sure that you can receive payment promptly, or you're comfortable on this. And I think plan for businesses, or plan for your business to keep going. So try and work out a way that your business can keep going. Perhaps your employees can work from home. There's some other ways you can receive supply, or indeed supply your customers that you haven't thought of yet, or is putting a roadblock in the way. By all means, contact us if you've got any queries, or you're in a bit of a bind in terms of how you actually keep your business going or keep trading. But just with the working from home, employees working from home, in the body of this video, there'll be a downloadable for a template working from home checklist. If your employees are going to work from home and you're looking to do that, make sure they fill this checklist out, or a like copy. There's some issues with work cover, Brett?
Well, we don't know. I've contacted, for the Victorian viewers, I've contacted Vic WorkSafe to ask if employers need to notify them of the employee's address and whether that then constitutes a registered workplace. I've been told verbally no, but they were very vague and wouldn't really explain to me why. I've also now contacted my local state member of parliament to say it's unsatisfactory that we can't get an answer to what's a relatively simple question. When I get that, of course, it'll be state specific for Victorians. We'll try and endeavour to get the same response for other states. So we're saying to clients at the moment, don't notify work cover, because it'll be a logistical nightmare. For example, we know the ANZ Bank has 600 people in one department working from home at the moment. If they had to let WorkSafe know of all of those locations, they do nothing else. But as Mark mentioned, we do have a checklist we've enclosed, which we've used for our staff, not just OH&S, but all sorts of other issues, particularly around confidentiality. We have actually had comments made from clients that they can't send staff home because the environment is not confidential enough for whatever they're doing, and that of course is a problem. So have a look at the checklist. It was something we compiled with the assistance of the state government, and would encourage everyone to use it.
And last but not least, if you're a tenant, we suggest you review the terms of your lease. You may need to take legal advice on that, but there may be a clause, depending on how your business conditions are tracking, there may be a clause that allows for some sort of suspension of your obligations, or indeed termination of the contract. Something around, if there's a natural or unavoidable catastrophe, or indeed a specified list of events that occur. So I suggest you contact your landlord, you have a copy of your lease, perhaps you've got a good relationship with your landlord where you can negotiate some sort of deferral, etc. Your landlord may even be able to defer loan repayments with their bank, as we suggested at the opening of this video, and that may be able to pass on to you. So I think you need to be proactive at this stage and start working through all of these items.
I agree. Yeah.
All right, thanks a lot, Brett, and good luck everyone, and please contact us if you've got any queries. Thank you.
Thank you.